Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Rivstar, here, presenting a duo game, one of the pre-tournament games that's going on. So this one does not count towards any points or anything. It's just a bit of fun and practicing, testing more. So some new game modes that might be coming to maybe the next tournament or something is what I assume is going on. Um, there is one person on each team, so this is still kind of like an actual tournament game, but it's not. So I am playing this game. I'm the one that is being coached. So in the VC with me, I have, not right now, but at the time when I was playing this game, I had Andrew and Pepsi, or whatever his name is right now. I think it's like something phobia. Can't even remember it, but they were basically coaching me in this game, or at least just talking to me in this game. Obviously, I don't need too much coaching, but it's more fun than anything. So I am a Liberal in seat 7, and 1-5 has played a blue. So yeah, obviously, as I said a minute ago, the reason why this is like a voiceover instead of live commentary is just because of the fact that I wasn't a VC at the time of this game, and unfortunately with every time that there's going to be like VCs involved in the game and I'm going to have to be in the VCs, it's not going to be possible for me to both be talking to people and recording commentary, because obviously there's only one of me. So I do obviously know what's happened in this game. It's already happened right now, but I'm going to still try and sort of commentate it as if I don't, I guess. I don't really know how else to put that. Yeah, so at this point in the VC we were joking that I don't really need coaching to, and I think one of them suggested just writing about 1256 not being all liberals as a bit of a joke, because that's a very common thing that like Greens say in seats 347 just to fill a chat. I think at the start of the game I pinged for no real reason other than to try and signal him, and 4 pinged me back. And now Carl's calling 3477 Hitler. And 6 asks here for 6 asks for TDing to the end of the game, which is, I mean, it's quite a liberal thing to do, and I think if 6 suggested this in a normal game, I'd basically just auto lib 6 for that. But when there are coaches involved, it's a different thing, because 6 can just be told to say that, knowing that full well that nobody's going to actually take it. So in the game, I quite liked 6, but I wasn't calling 6 lib yet. And then 6 played the 4th blue, as you can see. There are 4 blues on the board. I just say game over to 4, basically. Just I don't even know why. I'm basically just outing fascist on chat as liberal, which is always a wonderful idea. I just go and fill a chat quite a bit in this game as well. And yeah, obviously 1-5 is red, red, red. This is a 5 blue claim deck that I am liberal and haven't touched. So obviously from my point of view, it looks quite likely that 1256 usually has 2 fascists in this case. It doesn't always, but you usually in this situation would play on the assumption that it does. Just chatting for the sake of chatting. I wouldn't really suggest doing what I'm doing, because the problem with it is if you do randomly fill a chat in high-low games, you're just going to get called out for it. It doesn't really help either, so as much as I'm sort of memeing around in this game, I would not be talking like this in a serious game. Well, I mean, I still played this game seriously, of course, but like you can tell by my chat, I'm just joking around with the people in the VC. I said the word receive, and apparently I spelt it wrong and got corrected. But yeah, obviously still 1-5 and then 2-6 is going to play. That is just the meta. There's no point even trying to fight against that, 'cause it's just not going to happen. But 3-4-9. Obviously I can 9 there, but I don't personally see the point in it. And obviously 2-6 is red, red, red. I mean, it's basically never playing the 5th blue because it'd just typically have to be like 1-5x, and 1-5 are just playing a bunch of blues for some reason, and then allowing a lib-lib gov to have a 50% chance of playing the 5th blue. So Fascist would have had to like really misplayed for 2-6 to have a play of blue, is sort of what I'm saying. But as you can see, 2 then just ends 6 liberal after red, red, red. There are apparently 2 blues in 9 if 2 did not drop 1. Now at this point in the game, this is a part where you definitely should fight, because the sort of meta gov here would be to still play 5-1, because it's a 5 blue deck, and the first thing, the fact that they got red, red, red once doesn't actually mean that much, since 1-5 did to play 2 blues, and 3-4-7 have played no blues and didn't touch a 5 blue deck, so there isn't really much reason to ever play in 3-4-7, like from sort of a meta point of view, I guess. Obviously chat reads are very important, so if any of 3-4-7 sound liberal, they can obviously pass. But in seat 7 liberal, I definitely should not be asking for 5-1, and I definitely should be trying to get any gov that contains me in playing, which is basically what I'm saying here. So even though the chances of 3-4 being 2 liberals is pretty much none, well, not pretty much none, I guess it's entirely possible for 1, 2, 5, 6 to be 3 fascists, but the point is the chances of like 3 on 4 aren't particularly liberal to me. I just want to Yarbo 3 and 4 because of the fact that the alternative is going to be 9-5, who is almost certainly going to play 5-1. I mean, if 5 is liberal, 5 should play 5-1. If 5 is fascist, 5 should probably also play 5-1. So obviously I Yar 3-7. I am fighting for my gov. If 3 gets 9'd, then I still will obviously try and Yar 4. But typically 4 will not pass if 3 doesn't. No, the standard play here, if you're in seat 4, is obviously you just want to 9 to yourself. So, I mean, if 4 9s, then you can still get 3's vote on 4-7. And 4 might pass. Let's say like 3 gets 3 votes here from like 2-3-7. Then maybe like 2-3-4-7 will Yar 4. So it's sort of in 4's best interest most of the time to 9 here. But one thing you do have to be careful of if you're a seat 4 liberal here is the fact that if you 9-3, sometimes 3 is going to not like you for it and call you fascist for it. But also the fact that if 3 gets 9'd, it's very likely that 5 is going to get 9 too. Because there's no reason to like have preference in 3-4. So the only world where 4 ever gets a gov here is one where 3 gets like 3 Yars, and then 3 still wants to Yar 4 anyway, even after 4 9s them. Which can happen, and you should still sort of fight for that to happen, but it's like very typical for either 3-7 or 5-1 to play here. But 3-7 only gets 2 Yars from 3-7, which is kind of an expected vote. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with that vote. 2-6 not vote splitting is kind of noteworthy. Obviously vote splitting isn't forced, but they had an opportunity to vote split there and they didn't, which it doesn't like make them look as good as it would have if they vote split. I think at this point in the game, basically my only read is I think 6 is fairly liberal, and I wasn't paying any attention to sort of anyone else. I was just sort of trying to sound, or at least trying to chat quite a bit myself and trying to play govs that are optimal for me to play. So obviously I are 4-7 as well because I'm in this gov. Six is basically trying to get SE, which is a valid play. From Six's point of view, 4-7 is very rarely going to be two liberals, but you sort of don't care because if 4-7 guarantees you the SE, then you're fine to play it. What am I doing? I was just looking through chat, and apparently now I'm out of the game. Okay. I'm back in the game. Okay, so 6 yards this time. 3-4-7's votes are all perfectly fine and expected. But 6 yard there, even though nobody really even promised 6 SE. I say at this point in the VC, obviously I get 2 reds. But 4 confing me is sort of interesting. But 4 kind of has to conflict me, but 4 does then throw the SE to 6 because only 2, 4, 6 are SEing them. However, 1 does say that they like 6. And at this point in the VC, me and Andrew and Pepsi have been talking, and Andrew and Pepsi both really like 6, and I like 6 more than anyone else, so I just sort of, I just say Aliar 6 anyway, even though it's a thrown SE, which means technically 6 has votes because 2, 4, 6, 7 are SEing them, and I got into a bit of an argument with Andrew here. Not really like an argument, but a debate with Andrew. So what I say is that 2, 4, 6, 7, that means if they're yarring 6, that 6 has votes at the end of the day. There might still be 2 people in conflict yarring 6, but that's quite literally golden rule to have. You literally just have a majority of players yarring 6, so regardless as to conf or not, that's still votes. But Andrew thinks otherwise. He thinks that because 4 and 7 are in conflict, they don't get a vote, which I agree with to an extent, in that let's say somebody else has golden rule votes, but not from someone in conflict, then I think they should take priority over people who are getting 2 yards from people in conflict. But in a general case here, I think this is 6 technically does have votes after 4 C6 and I say LER 6. Now at this point I'm basically just having to appeal to 6 because I'm losing if 6 is fascist, and I think 6 is liberal anyway. So I'm just trying to say whatever to outchat 4, though at this point it's not super necessary since 4 is term locked. What I should be doing right now is, what I am doing, is I'm going through everyone's chat to see who I like the second most after 6, but 6 picks pretty quickly here anyway, so I don't really get a chance to say if I like anyone or who I like. At this point in the game I don't really read anyone anything, but I go through chat. Generally it's a decent idea to see how many lines of chat people have said. Whoever's tried the hardest generally it's more likely that they deserve to win, to be honest. So I was quite annoyed by the fact that 4 had the most chat by far, and he's a fascist. But 6-2 plays and it's red, red, red. Now, regardless of whether 4's a reg fascist or Hitler here, I think 4 kind of has to claim conflict on 4-7. Unless he sort of wants to shade 2 if 2 is liberal and 4 is reg. But basically what I'm saying is there's no real info gained from me as to what 4's role is from the fact that he conflicts me. But there's some interesting chat going on here where basically Anna immediately calls 4 out because 4 claimed lag after the what was it now? I'll just wait until I see what I type. Yeah, so 4 basically said something before they could have found it out, before it would have shown them. And Anna called them out for it immediately. So I didn't even really notice that, but Anna did, so whether that's her or her coaches pointing it out, that's a very, very good thing. And basically Anna just immediately calls for out and sides in my conflict, I guess. So at least she calls for fascist, which is very good for me and makes me like Anna quite a bit, because there's just no reason to point that out if you're a fascist with 4. You've just completely thrown 4 under the bus for no real reason. Obviously 5 could be Hitler doing this, which is a sort of valid reason for throwing 4 under the bus, but yeah, so basically 5 just becomes like lib hit to me, but I do quite like 5. I think Andrew and maybe Pepsi as well, I can't remember, they liked 1 this game. I didn't really have a read on 1 myself, so I didn't say anything about 1. And I really went through this whole game without really calling any lines or even thinking of any lines. Obviously here I try and get 4 shots because it's just, it's obviously just good for me to get 4 shot. If I can get 4 shot, then 6-7's quite likely to play next. And since this is a deck with only 1 blue claimed, and that's from 4, the only other person that touched are 2 and 6. So if 6 is a liberal, then 6-7 either is the 5th blue or 2 is confirmed fascist, because 2 is the only other person that can drop. So since 2 is also C and H, let's say hypothetically 4 gets shot here, 6-7 plays and 6 gets red. You know for a fact that 2-4 are both confirmed reg fascists. So you obviously don't shoot 2 there because you have a free Hitler shot in 1-3-5. And then you would just play 7-6 afterwards, since it would be 5 player at that point, and you can just play someone that's normally term locked in the 7 player sort of rule set. So I'm just fighting for 4 to be shot still, and 5 is also fighting for 4 to be shot. And then after that happens, or even now a bit, I'm just going to be fighting for 6-7 afterwards. Just trying to bring up anything to make 4 look worse than me. I've already called 4 out for claiming something that's just not possible, and 6 didn't instant shoot him, so I'm just talking about how he got voted over 3. And 6 finally shoots 4, which makes it very obvious 6 is now like confirmed liberal to me, if they weren't already, but I did already think 6 was liberal for the majority of this game. So now obviously 6 gets 9-2, and I ask for 6-5 now. Not 6-5, 6-7, sorry. I like 5, but I definitely do not want 6-5 over 6-7. Because if you think about it, first of all, if 2 did drop a blue, then you need to play 7x after 6 anyway. But also, obviously, 5 can still be Hitler shading 4 so hard. And the only way you don't pick 7 is if you call 4-7 2 fascists, which isn't really very likely, but 6 just instant picks 5. There's a lot of sort of instant picking in this game and all of the practice games, I guess, and I wish people would think a bit more. Hopefully this doesn't happen in actual tournament games, but this is a practice game, so I don't really care too much. But as I say in the chat, basically 6 is calling for 7x to not pick 7, which I don't know. But 5 is C and H, which means 5 is probably liberal here, and that is the end of the game. So it is just obviously 1-3-4. 1 was Hitler, and Carl's angry at his fascists, and I'm angry at 6 for not picking me. But yeah, that's it for this game. It was quite a fun one to play. I hope there's more of them in the tournament, but I'll see you in the next video.